Hello everyone, it's Birdie here, the Recycled Hippie Chick. I have another large journal, but I'm hoping the page that I picked out will be smaller and you'll be able to see. Um, let's see here. I picked one out. I think we can get it all in. Where was it? It was grid paper. Here it is. Yeah, I think we can get this in. Let me scoot it up. Take my wipe-ems out. There we go. I think we can do that. Okay. I am in the mood to do a lot of layers. I watched a girl today on YouTube. I'd never watched her before, and she did so many layers on her page. And I thought, I want to do a page with a lot of layers. So let's just do one together. I wrote down kind of in order her steps that she did. And the first thing she did was put on some paint. Here's my scraper. So I am just going to put some paint on. I'm going to scrape mine. She used her brush, but I am just in the mood to scrape. So I'm going to do that. How have you guys been? Now, this ending result, I'm hoping to end up with a flower on this. Let's see. I have never drawn or painted a flower like this. So, uh-oh, is that Helen out there? I went out a while ago to say goodnight to her, and she was in her house, and I had the ladder up on the tree next to hers and was not in the mood to move it back over. So I just told her goodnight from that. And I have a feeling she's coming back out to go, okay, I'm ready for attention now. But too late. I've already come back in. So she wouldn't come over to the other tree where she didn't want to come out of the house at all. She looked like I woke her up. So she must have gone back in early for a nap or whatever. For those of you, if you're new here, Helen is my squirrel. And man, the sun, I've got my setup here, back here by the sliding glass door, and that west sun is coming right on in. Right on in. Now this, I love this ultramarine blue, but it is so extremely dark. So I may have to mix some white in with that. I don't know. Let's see what we come up with. You know, it's really not too bad, is it? Now now I have both ends messy. I'm just going to use my fingers. Husband has gone to Peanut's wrestling match, and I'm not going because I'm mad at Peanut. So last time we went, Peanut had an attitude, and I just said, I'm not coming. If you don't want us here, you know, she says, why do you guys even come? Well, if you're going to have that attitude and talk to us like that, I will not come because there's a lot of other things I could be doing. Now, she messaged Crapaw, my husband, later on that night and said she was sorry for her attitude. And so, of course, he's a schmooze. He forgives really quickly and goes on, which I probably should, but I'm not going to go for a while. Crapaw went by himself. So I am here by myself, and I'm going to do, like I'm not all day long, right? Like I'm not by myself all day. I said, I'm going to do a video. I'm just going to talk candidly because one reason I do these videos is for video, like a diary, so that when I'm gone, my kids can, you know, maybe look back and learn something about me. So I'm just going to talk candidly, and maybe one day Peanut will be watching this when she's a little older and a little more mature than a 7th grader who thinks she's mature right now, but she's just a ball of hormones ready to explode at any moment. You know, when I was a kid, I would not have thought about saying rude things or having a total meltdown in front of my parents. If my parents were to ground me, nowadays it's take their phone away, right? I would not melt down and say, I'm not going to do my chores, or I need that phone back, or whatever. I just would not have. If my parents were to ground me, I would have never have brought that back up. I would have said, well, I'm grounded. I wouldn't even have discussed it with them. First of all, I must have been an odd duck when I was young, because I did not want to upset my parents, especially my dad. I was daddy's girl, and it broke my heart if I said something and my dad had to look at me crooked. It broke my heart immediately, and I knew I had hurt him, and I did not want to do that. So for the most part, I just didn't. I just didn't want to hurt my parents. Today, I don't think the kids care if they hurt their parents. I think they hurt their parents in a ploy nowadays just to get what they want. And I don't know, maybe I'm completely wrong, but that's the way I see it. And I am not going to go and reward them for their nasty behavior. I'm just not going to do it. So that's kind of where my attitude is right now. Now I want to do some messy writing. So let me find an old marker that I don't care if it gets yucky or not. Okay, this gal used old markers that were about to dry up, and she just kind of scribbled. Ooh, that's red. I don't want to use that. I was hoping for a white. Let's see. Let's see what this one is. I was just thinking on my way out to the art room to get my markers. It's like I have to think. I am writing nonsense. Why do I need to think about it? There, I wrote the. I never got a spanking. So I know you guys are going to go, oh my gosh, girl, you were spoiled. No, I wasn't spoiled. I didn't get a spanking because I didn't want to hurt my parents. I just had that sensitive heart that I just didn't want to make my parents mad enough to have to give me a spanking. And I had seen my cousins, you know, I had spent the night with my cousins enough. Do I not have a white marker? That even when I spent the night with them, if they talked back to their mom or dad, I'd seen them get backhanded before. And that scared me to death. And I did not want to ever say anything to my parents that they would have to backhand me. And I couldn't. I was too sensitive, emotional. It just wasn't going to happen. Also, I was odd. You know, I've told you before, my mom said I was an odd sort. Let's do some more swipes. I want some yellow and some burgundy. I used to want to make my parents so pleased with me. And I just enjoyed it too. That when I was at home from school and my mom or dad hadn't gotten home yet, I would do things to help out. I would say, oh my gosh, I would go get my after school snack or whatever and look in the silverware drawer, and it wasn't unlike me to say, oh, I see some crumbles in the bottom of this silverware drawer. I'm going to take all the silverware out of the drawer and clean the drawer out and put everything back in nice and neat. Mom will appreciate that. I used to think of things like that. How many kids, I was a weirdo, because how many kids go, oh, I think I'm going to organize Mom's silverware drawer? Or I would notice she left and had a load in the dryer. And so I would want to surprise her, and I would get the clothes out of the dryer and hang them up or fold them. I love to iron. So I would iron everything, whether it needed it or not, just because I enjoyed ironing. I would iron stuff before I folded it and put it away for her or whatever. I would iron, fold clothes. I guess my love language is words of praise, because it made my heart so full when she came home and saw that and would go, oh my gosh, Amy, thank you so much for doing this laundry for me. You didn't have to iron all that, It would just make my heart full and overflow. And I thrived on getting that from my parents. So my love language must have been words of praise. But I would do things like that. I would go ahead and dust. I would go, dusting. Our chores were on Saturdays usually. And I would have to clean stalls with my dad in the horse barn. Then I would come in and I would have to help Mom. I was in charge of dusting, and we had hardwood floors, so I would have to dust mop the floors, sweep and dust mop the floors with like Old English or whatever, Indust or whatever she had me put on the dust mop everywhere, and that was my chores. And then when that was all over, then I could watch cartoons, because cartoons were only on till noon. So I made sure I got up really early to get all of that stuff done so that I could watch cartoons. Nowadays, it's not a special thing to watch cartoons, or, that's not like a treat. That's something you can turn your phone on that you have as a child and watch any old time, where when I was a kid, that was a treat, because cartoons were only on Saturdays. I'm wanting to put here, this is exactly what I want. I'm wanting to put some shapes on there. And I wanted to use one of my handmade stamps. And I don't know that will work with my stamp pad. Let's try it. If it doesn't, I may have to put paint on there. Let's see what happens. So anyway, Peanut, if you're watching this and you're 30 years old and I'm gone, and that's how my life was. And I really wish you had that heart to where you wanted to do good things for your mom. She called Crappaw the other night and said, Mom has still grounded me from my phone. And Crappaw said, well, then why don't you first of all, apologize to her for whatever you did to have your phone removed. And why don't you do something really special? Like, make sure your chores are done without asking, empty your dishwasher without being yelled at and screamed at and tears flowing, and, take the trash out. Do all of that for 2 or 3 days without her even having to tell you. And I bet you, and no begging for the phone back, just do it. And I bet you she'll give you your phone back. Oh, I don't think I can do that. She's in the 7th grade. Of course she can do that. He said, well, I bet you if you tried, she would. So I don't know how that's turned out. That was Sunday. She called called him and was whining to him about it. See, my daughter is divorced. She's a divorced mother. So Crappa has to do the hard stuff that normally a dad would be doing, you know? Peanut, if you're watching, your mom doesn't have a partner to, you know, share all of the hard stuff with. She has to do all of it on her own, and it was hard for her. Very hard. So, I'm sorry for all the too much information, but you guys are kind of my sounding board for my whining sometimes. Okay, now, let's see here. What do we want to do next? I need to do a little bit of paper collage. Now, I'm going to have to make room on here for my flower that I have never done before. I'm wondering if I could use a coffee filter. That's awfully big. It doesn't matter because I'm going to be probably putting more paint over it. Ooh, I need to dry that first. Let me dry this. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use this one, whether it has that black paint on it or not, because I'm going to paint a flower over it. So I just want to collage a piece on there. I'm going to use my matte gel medium. And let's see how this goes. Where's my messy towel? Here it is. Okay. Now, let's see what we got going here. I think I'm going to actually put it right on here. I want to do just a lot of layers. This may not be I'm going to use it, by golly. I'm using this piece of paper, whether it has that ink or paint on it or not. It will be fine. It's not very white. Oh dear, you guys. Look what I'm doing. That's okay. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it anyway. This is what I'm going to do right now. I don't want to stand up and shut the thing off, so hold on. I'm going to dry just a second. I'm going to go over that a little bit with white, just to get some of that. I just don't want that coming through my flower. There we go. Now, what do I want to keep putting? I want to keep putting some on. Let's see here. I wanted to put 3 pieces of collage paper on. I don't know why. It's just, I feel like there needs to be more than one piece on there. There we go. Where's my other one? Let's do this one right here. Darn it, I just went out into the art room to get those markers. I was going to look and see. I got online to order, I bought a record player at an auction house here in Wichita, and it came without, the reason it was $5 was because it didn't have a cord. Well, I looked up and it said you could order one for a Victrola suitcase style turntable off of Amazon. So I went on there and ordered one, and it said, do you need any, do you want to buy anything that you've bought before? Like this bottle of gel media or liquid medium. I'm like, wait a minute. It says I ordered medium in a bottle on the 28th of December. And I'm like, I don't remember getting that. So I wondered if maybe I brought it in and put it out in the art room. I don't know. So I meant to look while I was out there and I did not. Okay, collage paper, marks, bubble wrap. I wanted to do bubble wrap and toilet paper roll. And I don't have those in here, so let me go round some up. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys, for all the bouncing around. This is on a very wobbly old desk. It used to be my mom's, and it's very rickety, and it's not my normal setup that I have out in my art room. So I want to do some bubble wrap. Just to put some marks here and there because I am maxing out the layers. I went yesterday and bought 2 new toilets. I know you guys are excited to hear about that. This is the first time I've ever bought new toilets. So our toilets in this house, this is in 1991. Our house is a modular, and it was built in 1991. So however old that is, that's the first time it's ever had new toilets. It still has the original toilets in it that were built, you know, when they built the house. I don't know how often people have to replace their toilets, but I'm just now replacing mine. So that was a kind of an exciting thing to go pick out a toilet, you know. I wanted a turbo flusher, you know. I wanted one with the 2 buttons on top. You push one button, you know, for this maneuver and one button for the other maneuver. And they only use like 1 gallon of water. I wanted that. And I wanted to go through there. I wanted it to really move through there fast. And so that's what I got. I got 2. I got one that all the toilet is one piece. And it has the 2 little, it's got 1 button on top with half and half. You know, you push this side or this side. And it's all one piece toilet. And then the other toilet is the same button on top, but it has a tank, you know, that you put on the toilet bowl. So I'm excited for this weekend. It's going to be like 60 degrees out. So we're going to install those this weekend. Probably moving you again. Okay. Now I've done my marks and now I want to do a little bit of painting. I would like to use red. What color is this? That's burnt orange. Here's some red. Okay. So right now, what am I going to use? Do I want to use a brush? Yeah, I'm just going to use a little brush. And I'm just going to put some different little colors in here that I don't really have yet. Just to add another layer. And I am going to have to dry this. Let me dry this. Okay, I don't really like this color that I picked out. It says it's pink, but I can't really tell. So I'm going to, well, I'm going to use it, but I'm going to mix a little bit of this red. I just don't hardly have any red in here. I was going to mix some of this red with it and see if I couldn't. I got to be careful because I want my flower to be pink. So I don't want too much, you know, too pink, because then I won't be able to see my flower. Okay, now, I know you guys are going, where are you going with this, Birdie? I don't really know. I really don't. I just have been in the mood to make a video. Husband has been in here a lot, and I can't do a video when he's in the living room, and he's gone. So I said, now's my chance. And I thought, well, I'm just going to do copycat of what I watched that lady do today. Let's see here. Let's do some marker. I wish I had. I'm just getting too much black on here, is what's happening. I just want to do some slashes and dots, do a little bit of mark making. I just want to see how many layers I can fit on here. And it's a junk journal, and it's mine. And so I don't care if it turns out really overly busy, because I'm having fun and I'm trying something new. So I'm going to do one other color. So we have a couple of different colors going on here. Okay, that's green. And what else shall we do? What other color shall we put on there? What's this? I wonder if it's even, oh, that's so tiny fine. So tiny fine. What's this one? This is pink. That kind of looks red, but that's okay. We can use what looks red. My flower is going to be here, but that's okay. Go ahead and layer it if you're getting ideas to try this. If you're going, oh man, I want to try that mess that Birdie made. If you decide you want to try this mess, then go ahead and put it in here where you think your flower is going to be, because you're going to go over the top of it and it'll be layered. And I'm putting some other flowers after I get my main flowers, I'm going to try to attempt to make a peony, okay? So after I get the peony done, I'm going to go back through and try to put some other lighter flowers here, there, and yonder. Okay, now I want to do some negative space. I want to do, I'm wanting to do something like that, only a negative space. So I can't use this. I think what I'm going to do is use a white pen. I wonder if this white pen works. I want to make these, but I want to be able to do a negative space. So let's try that. These pens dry out so fast, whether you use them or not. When you start using them, you might as well use the whole pen, because it dries out so extremely fast. I just don't know that they're worth it. Some people buy these 5 and 10 at a time, so when they start seeing them, quit, they just throw them away. See, look, that doesn't, that is empty. But this other one has ink in it. Okay. So what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to draw some of this little branch on here, and then I'm wanting to paint around it with negative space. So all the colors that we've put on there will be what's inside of the leaves and the stem. Get my GIF. So let's put one down here. And then we'll see how that works out for us, right? I think maybe we need one over here. I don't want it going all the same way. Okay, we'll try that. I just needed an outline. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, when you watch somebody do something on video, it always looks so easy, doesn't it? Now, I have a big wad of paint over here. I'm going to get my book page here, and I'm just going to scrape that on there, just so that I don't drag stuff through it here. Okay, now, let's see here. We want to do our negative space in white. So let's get some white out. And let's go around that. And just get a little bit of that going. Maybe I should use my littler brush, but you know what? I've already got paint on it, so let's go for it. And guess what? That pink marker is going to bleed. That's okay. It'll just show through as a layer, so I think this girl had all the fancy Posca pens, which I do not. My friend Terrell gave me a bunch of them, but they were all dry, and she just was giving them to me because she couldn't throw them away. And I kept them for years thinking, well, I'll soak them in water or alcohol and use them like a watercolor on a masterboard, day, but I never did. So when I went through and organized my art room, they all went in the trash. My goal one day is I will purchase me some Posca pens. Now this girl, wait, no, I think it was Stacy Spangler. I watched, was it Stacy Spangler? Talking about her favorite art supplies. Was she the one that said, get your Posca markers, don't get them in a set, get them one at a time? If it wasn't Stacy, it was somebody else. They said, don't get them in a set. They said, if you can, just see which colors are your favorite and just get them separately. Because she said, you get this whole set of 12 or 20 or however many it comes in a set, and you end up using your favorite colors and the other ones just sit there. And that's probably exactly what I would do. So one day I'm going to start investing in some Posca markers. I mean, I know I would use a black and a white one, right? That's a given. But until then, I have, you know, these 2 containers over here full of different markers. I just need to use them up. Okay, now there's one negative space. I'm going to go ahead and do the other 2 and come back so you don't have to sit here and watch me. Okay, let's see here. Bubble wrap, marker, dots and swipes, negative space, leaves and branch, white, and then around the flower. What did I mean by that? White around the flower. I don't know what that meant. Maybe it just meant white around these branches. Other small flowers. Oh, white. White around the negative space. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can't attempt to do a peony right here. Oh dear. So we have the bud. And then we have just some little leaves. They're going to get bigger. I want these out here to be the biggest because I want it to be, I don't know. I've never, you guys are watching me do this for the first time. My first flower I've ever painted here. I cannot believe I'm doing this on camera. Okay, I think that will be it right there. Okay, let's try that. And then I want to put a stem coming down. I don't remember if she had leaves on it or not, but I'm going to put a couple leaves on mine. Okay, here we go. I can't believe I'm doing this. Okay, let's see here. If it's a pink, I'm going to need darker pink. I'm going to need lighter pink. What else am I going to need? Probably some white. I would really like to have like 3 shades of pink. Wouldn't you think? A light, a medium, and a dark pink. If you're making a peony, maybe we'll just, maybe we'll get the red ready. Maybe we'll try some of this. No, let's try some of this. Is this, no, that says dark red. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't want to reach up and I'm going to push pause. Okay, this one's burgundy, so we'll try some of it. And we might have to mix white in with it. Okay, here we go. Probably ought to use the little brush, right? Do you do dark and then work light in over it? She just made it look so stinking easy. And I don't want to go back and watch the video. I'm just going to start putting some burgundy on. Let's do 2 or 3 little petals and see if we can't start mixing. I have a feeling this is just going to look like a big dark blob. I don't know how you do this. This may not be my thing. She made this look so easy. I may not talk very much. That one there looks pretty good, doesn't it? So maybe I should not put the dark on at all. So let's try one. Well, I'm trying to put just a little bit of that dark, like, you know, where you can kind of define the leaf. I can't even get the dark to come off of the paintbrush now. This is not gonna look like a flower. Maybe I should push pause and go ahead and work on this and come back and show you the mess that I made. Or should I just keep going and let you watch me drown? When I'm done, I can go around it with marker to outline it and define it, so I'm not worried about really not being able to see the, you know, each petal. I can do that later. I'm kind of liking this like little bit of that burgundy showing now, and I don't know how to get that. I don't know, you guys. Okay, I'm getting really anxious, so I'm gonna push pause and keep going and then bring you back, okay? Okay, I haven't dried it yet. Now I'm just going in and I don't know. I'm really getting discouraged. She had this brush that she pushed down. She made a tip and then she pushed down. The brush spread out, made a petal, and then she lifted it back up. And this one is not doing that. I've tried 2 brushes. So now I'm just making it do it. I'm just painting them around like that. She put a lot of these flowers in there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back in my history and I'm going to link her. I hate to do that because then she's going to come on here and see what a mess I did of her painting. Is there a way I can link her? You know what? I'm just going to put the name of her channel. I'm just going to I'm just going to type it in the description so that she won't know I typed it in. But you guys can go search her if you wish to see what this was actually supposed to look like. It was really cute, and I thought, oh, I'll make it my own. You know, by the time I'm done, every time I do a copycat project, it always comes out to be my own. So I'm not ever worried about it truly being a copycat. But I do not want her to see this mess I've made. You guys are the only ones I'm comfortable with seeing my mess. Oh, it's really discouraging because I just don't like to do a painting. I just like to make a mess. I think she had some over here too. So anyway, yeah, this was an utter and complete fail. But I'm going to leave it in my journal because we need to see the fails. And maybe one day I'll get better at what I'm doing, and I'll come through here and go, oh, well, I think I'm just going to add something here and something there, you know. And maybe I'll be able to do something with it later on. I don't know. Or maybe I just won't care. Maybe when it's gone here, it'll be completely gone from my mind. And I won't worry about it anymore. And just say, I'm just playing. Look at me, sitting here trying to make excuses for my failure. It's okay. It's okay to screw something up. I had fun putting all the layers on. And I'm not done yet. I mean, maybe it'll turn out to look decent. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to dry this. Okay, let's continue on, and I'm going to tell you what I did. I wasn't even supposed to put these flowers on there. I watched a couple of her videos today, and the first video I watched, she put these flowers on. The second video, she put that flower on. So I've definitely got a maximum amount of layers on here. I put more flowers than I even should have done. So we're going to continue on. We're just going to continue on and finish this darn thing. I am going to put a black center in the center of these. She used markers. I don't have all these, you know, markers to do that. So I'm just using my paintbrush. I'm going to, whoops, I don't want black on that. I'm going to take a darker orange. Whoops, I'm not done yet. And I'm going to kind of put a little bit of detail in the, I don't want these to look so perfectly round. It bothers me. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit of orange on my brush. I am not instructing you, okay? You're just watching me mess up. And I'm just going to add some little lines in there just to add some other color besides that light orange. So, what's the matter, Milk? I will come feed you in a minute. She acts like she's dying when she's ready to eat, and she's got all kinds of other food in there. She just won't. She's just spoiled with her canned food and thinks she can control me, and she does. Okay, now I'm going to go around and do all that. And I'll be back because this is getting really long. Okay, that's all the farther I'm going to take it. I'm done. I'm over it. I don't know, maybe I should. I'm doing things very loose. Maybe it'll look a little more abstract. Like that. I'm not even laying my hand down so that it'll just be really loose and kind of crooked. I don't know. I'm going to go feed Milkshake and get me a coffee and just sit down and maybe unsubscribe to this girl because she makes things look too easy. She wrote, she journaled all around in her light spaces, like everywhere she could, she wrote. I'm not even gonna try it. My letters, my writing will probably look so terrible that I will have this thing so messed up. So I'm gonna quit now while I can even stomach to leave it in my book. My precious book, one of my favorite covers I've ever done. And I have created this in it. Let's put down 2025. And let's just leave it at that, shall we? Just don't want things. I painted these on, so I just got to stop. Just got to stop, guys. Got to stop. There we go. I will show you. I think I've shown you this cover before. I just absolutely love this cover. And I just love it. I haven't got any dingle dangles on it yet, so I need to do that. But anyway, I'm going to leave it laying open so it can dry better. I did this one last night. I'm pleased with that. I need to put something in the little pocket, but I'm pleased with that. I did that a couple nights just to get some color on a page. And we did this one together tonight. Okay, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I just had fun getting some paint on my fingers. And maybe the longer I look at this, the better I'll like it. Right? Thanks for hanging. Bye-bye for Birdie. Jeez, I just need to have a coffee.